Welcome to Fudge Films presents the greatest podcast on Earth. Today's episode, Joker Movie Review.
Hey there guys, we've got a very special podcast for you guys this time. We've got a Fudge Films movie review. Last night, Clayton and I, we found the time, saw the Joker, and so we're going to do kind of a full review of it. So I guess let's just start off, Clayton. What'd you think of the Joker? Good, bad?
I thought it was okay. Like, I've never been one for like superhero movies, right? That's nothing like out of character for me.
Yeah.
So it was fine, I guess. It's like a 6 out of 10 maybe.
Okay. 6 out of 10. That's fair. I was more keen on it. I kind of liked a lot of the stuff going on with it. I like me a superhero movie or two whenever they're good. Some of my favorites are Superman 3, Batman vs. Superman. I liked Man of Steel a lot. I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I liked Babe, Pig in the City. I liked The Muppets Take Manhattan. I liked an extremely goofy movie. I liked Spider-Man the 4D attraction. I liked Extreme Ghostbusters episode 4. I liked no, that's all of them. That's all the superhero movies I've seen. So I actually haven't seen one that I didn't like. And all of those were pretty good. But compared to the Joker, I don't think the Joker maybe holds up in the same way, We're Back, a Dinosaur Story does. But overall, I did enjoy it well enough. It was good. It was good. I think there are some weird things about it. So if you guys don't know, let me give you plot synopsis of Joker. I'm sure you guys know, but if we're trying to be an official movie reviewing podcast, should give you a plot synopsis. So here's the plot of Joker. It's about a character played by Joaquin Phoenix, who's kind of like an incel type, right? Like he really wants a girl. He really wants to be a normie, but he just isn't because he's Joaquin Phoenix. And so in Joker, Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with his phone, played by Scarlett Johansson, and they kind of get up to all kinds of hijinks together. So that's kind of the basic plot. Clayton, what did you think of Joaquin's performance in the movie?
I thought it's fine. I liked when he did kind of like a callback to previous Joker installments.
Right, yeah.
He did the line. It was kind of botched, it seemed like, but he was like, hey kids, you want to know why my face looks like this?
Yeah, that was... I also kind of saw him allude to those classic Joker roles with that line, and I think there are moments in the movie where other Jokers really come through him, especially whenever they deep faked other Jokers' faces onto his. It was exciting to see, Jack Nicholson as the Joker again. And it was exciting to see Heath Ledger again. I don't know how they got that footage, but It was exciting. It was very cool and exciting. But I also felt like the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's performance was very good. It was very good. And I'll get to that in a second. But I think the character of the Joker was just a little bit too... he was very out there and scary, at times very intense. But he was kind of too like committed to playing country music. And I didn't really get that aspect of it. I am a Bat fan, but I just didn't I didn't understand this takes love of country music and
I felt like that was really like reaching for an audience that they weren't gonna get.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that, and it didn't really pay off in any meaningful way, so that was strange. But Joaquin Phoenix's performance was definitely good. I definitely bought him as the Joker, but yeah, maybe next time like ditch the country music thing. It was also weird that he like died at the end. That was strange. I didn't think that they would kill the Joker, but
yeah, and there was like, I think it was the scene before that where it was like an angry crowd, like there. So let's clear the waters here because it gets real wacky. There's a crowd with a rebel flag, like a Confederate flag, with Joker's face like spray painted on it. The crowd was burning it, and then shortly after that, there's a scene where Joker he's looking in a mirror, and he turns his head, but the mirror doesn't. So hear me out. I think there's two Jokers.
Ooh.
I think they're setting up for a sequel.
Yeah. Oh, that could be, man, because like at the end of the movie, those guys with the Confederate flags did say like the Joker will rise again. So it could be Joker 2. And that would explain the country music thing. Okay. I'm liking... I think you and I are the first ones to crack that Easter egg, that little foreshadowing of the Joker 2.
It's also real weird political messaging going on there. Who's the director? What was
it Martin Scorsese?
Was it Scorsese?
Mm-hmm.
He's this alongside The Irishman?
Yeah, 2 movies in a year. That's a lot.
He's putting out some real interesting work.
Yeah.
This makes me kind of double think how I'm gonna feel about The Irishman.
Well, yeah, The Irishman doesn't have a Joker, and I think that was a misstep whenever they announced that movie without Joker. I didn't really understand that. But getting back to the political messages, you're right. This movie felt very conflicted on its political message, because, at the start, you have the Joker, kind of like, he does like an Obama impression, and then like falls down some stairs, while still doing the Obama impression, and I thought that was very strange. I thought like maybe that's like anti-Obama, but then like the movie ends with the Joker becoming president due to like the Riddler's like hacking scheme, and I didn't really get that, because obviously that's a metaphor for how JFK got into office. So I didn't really understand where this movie was going with things.
Speaking of like other stuff that I didn't get, it was pretty interesting that they made a movie with Joker and Batman was not in the movie.
Well, he was in the movie.
Was he?
Yeah. Did you...
Like a cameo?
No. I think he went to the bathroom during this part. Batman shows up and he's like, Joker, I'm gonna fight you. And then, like, the Joker's like, no. And then they kind of go to the next scene.
Maybe I might have... I don't know.
I
missed that.
I'm pretty sure that was when you went to the bathroom, because right before that was the strip club scene the Joker got up on the pole and took his clothes off and started dancing, and then you were like, I got to go for a couple minutes. So I think maybe you missed that scene.
Okay, I do. I remember that now.
Yeah. Probably very vividly. Yeah, there was actually a lot of Batman stuff in the movie. I thought it was wild that they were like, "Ooh, you know what, Joker?" Here's the actual quote: "Hey, Joker, you're Thomas and Martha Wayne's son." I thought that was like kind of a weird turn, to make the Joker their son, but it did lead to some interesting things. It went places with it. So,
yeah, I'm not really too well versed in like the Batman lore.
Yeah,
I always thought Batman.
We call it Bat lore.
Bat lore. I thought Batman was like an only child, but then they throw this softball, not softball, this sidewinder, I guess, at us. We learn now that they were like split up at birth or something.
Well, yeah, they were conjoined twins, and then Thomas Wayne, being the like surgeon he was like, I gotta fix this, and took his power saw and just sliced him in half. And Batman goes, "Oh, that was sad," and the Joker goes, "No, that was funny," and that kind of like starts their feud. So
they had a little like reference to Two-Face in that.
Yeah.
After they split the kids, they literally flipped a coin to decide which one would be like the heir of the Wayne family.
Yeah, and what was cool was like the coin like never came down until like the last scene, and then we don't see what the coin says. So maybe that's gonna be like another thing they answer in Joker 2. It was, there was a lot of nods to the Bat lore, and that was exciting as a Bat fan. We saw a little references to some of my personal favorite Batman stories. One of my favorites is, of course, the rainbow colored bat suit. That was kind of great seeing that in the background. We got a little reference to the time Batman and Catwoman were gonna get married, and then they kind of like broke it off. It was really cool to see a reference to that with a guy in the background going, "I read this for 50 issues and it resolves like this." I thought that was an interesting, I don't even want to say like Easter egg or reference because it took up 25 minutes of screen time. But it was definitely interesting, I'd say.
It was also pretty cool how they gave us some background on the Joker's history.
Yeah.
We saw him in his youth. We didn't see his face. He was always wearing a mask for some reason. I don't know, I guess to keep up the mystery.
Yeah.
But like in high school, he really liked this girl, and he got like they really painted Bruce as a Chad.
Yeah.
And he came in and really he tripped Joker. It was kind of cliche. Joker was carrying lunch. He tripped Joker, and lunch splattered all over his face, so you couldn't see his face.
Yeah.
And then the girl he made eye contact with her, and she laughed, and then Bruce Wayne took her in his arms and walked off. That's Joker's backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a very obviously a pivotal scene for the movie, but maybe a pivotal scene for pop culture. I think we've never seen kind of a nerd lose like that. And it was very interesting to see the Joker, get tripped by his twin brother, get the lunch all over him, start crying, and then Bruce Wayne to walk off kissing the girl. I thought that was very emotional because I think we've all kind of been there. We've all kind of been the lunch that's been spilt on another person. And so that was very moving. I think another thing the movie did well with giving Joker backstory is whenever we see Joker kind of like in Roman times and he's like a gladiator. That was very interesting. I thought it was weird because it had nothing to do with the rest of the movie, but you know, very very actiony, very exciting, and I thought it was very cool for you know, kind of a classic Joker joke to appear where the king goes, release the lions, and the Joker goes, and I ain't lying. I thought that was very, very funny.
I got a couple chuckles in the theater.
Yeah, I think our theater was really interesting because it was, you know, every once in a while you hear a chuckle here or there, but mostly throughout the movie you just hear like wet slapping. And I don't know, I think maybe people were like crying and they were like, oh, you gotta stop crying, because there's also like a lot of like, oh, so maybe that's what they were doing. I'm not sure, but could be. So let's talk a little bit about the supporting cast of the film. Of course, we've talked about Bruce Wayne, portrayed by Danny DeVito. There was also Thomas and Martha Wayne, portrayed by two animated cartoon rabbits. That was an interesting choice. I also think it was interesting, Robert De Niro, who we all knew was in the movie, was playing his character from Goodfellas. And I thought that was a strange choice to kind of take the real-life story, you know, of Henry Hill, that whole world, and put it in the Joker's world. I thought that was a cool choice.
They also introduced the Joker Mobile.
Yes.
Voiced by the person who did Smart House, Disney's Smart House.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Peg from Married with Children, Leela from Futurama. I'm forgetting her name right now. I apologize deeply. I know she's listening. Yeah, it was interesting to have her, and she was kind of like, well, what I thought was interesting about her, though, playing the Joker Mobile, is she kept being like, hey, you guys remember Disney Channel's Smart House? I thought it was very strange to have her keep doing that, but I'm sure, like, maybe she worked at a discount so that she could promote Smart House during the movie. Which, it makes me wonder, is Smart House canon in the Jokerverse, or is it a movie in the Jokerverse? I'd love to see maybe them talk about that in the sequel. Maybe even a third movie, The Joker House. They could kind of do fun things with that. I'm hoping this movie does come to Disney Channel, because that's the only way that my little cousin can watch movies, is if they're a Disney Channel original movie. And I'm really hoping to show him this film. So, Mickey, go ahead, get ready, and buy Warner Brothers. I'll be there day one to watch it.
Speaking of, like, megacorps, it was interesting to me that there were ads placed throughout the movie.
Yeah.
There were, like, ad breaks. They didn't, like, they were part of the movie, where the head of Warner Brothers came out and promoted other DC movies.
Yeah. Well, whenever the other movies have done as good as they do, you know, maybe they do need to be a little bit extra promoted. I did think it was weird, though, for him to not promote any in the DCU. He came out and was like, hey, like halfway through the movie, you guys remember, if you've seen the movie, the scene where Joker, he's at his father's funeral, you know, and he's standing there, and then out of the casket comes the president of Warner Brothers, and he's like, hey, you guys seen Steel from 1997 starring Shaq? You guys seen that one? We made that. You guys seen Return of Swamp Thing? That movie's alright. Anyone want to come over to my place to watch Superman Returns? I got that on HD DVD. I thought that was kind of a really emotional scene, because as someone who grew up, the only movie I was allowed to watch was Supergirl from the early 80s. That scene really connected with me. I really felt like I could be at that guy's house watching Superman Returns. So
it's definitely an interesting strategy.
Yeah.
When they showed some, not all of them, but some of them, when they showed the trailer for Steel, I kind of wanted to go see it.
Yeah.
But the movie being 2 decades old,
yeah,
not playing in the same theater.
Yeah, it was strange that they didn't, outside of mentioning Superman Returns on HD DVD, they didn't mention home video at all. They were like, go to your local theater and go watch Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. And it was like, well, Superman 4 has been out of theaters for 32 years. I guess I can ask, and if you remember, I did. I went up to our concession stand, and I went, hey, when are you guys showing Superman 4? And they did not like that. They were very upset that I asked about that movie. So, maybe they're alluding to a re-release of all those movies in theaters. That'd be kind of fun. But I don't know. It was strange. I think another strange thing about the movie was the score. I was not expecting the movie to have a Danny Elfman composed score. That was exciting. But I really wasn't expecting it to just be songs taken from other movies he did and other projects. I thought it was really strange that the movie starts with the Simpsons theme. And then during Martha Wayne's funeral, Joker's mom, they do this is Halloween, this is Halloween. And I thought it was weird, the first time the Joker fires a gun, they they played the Batman 1989 theme, and it was well, but this is Batman's theme, not the Joker. It was just some strange choices. They slipped in sorry, what's his name? John Williams. They slipped in a John Williams song at one point. If you remember, whenever the Joker and Batman are staring each other down in the high school cafeteria, a Duel of Fates from episode 1 starts playing, but it's a fart version of the song. It's and I was like, well, what are we doing here? But I think maybe that was part of the Joker's trick on the movie. I don't know. It was strange.
There was also really big action scene.
Yeah.
Where the Joker's he's setting off explosives or something, and they played K-pop.
Yeah.
If you ask me how much K-pop I expected in a Joker movie, they got it. They surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, and it was strange because it was K-pop. It was a cover of a K-pop song. It was performed by obviously middle-aged men. And it was kind of weird that we got... It was the movie then kind of it became a picture-in-picture thing. The movie went down in the corner, and we just cut to footage of middle-aged men dancing to K-pop for 42 minutes. It was very un-Joker-like, but I can't say I wasn't entertained. And I think that's the main thing about the movie, is I was fully entertained. Whether it was from the opening scene where the Joker dances in the shower and kind of recreates the opening of John Leguizamo's The Pest, whether it was kind of the important incident that we talked about of the Joker getting tripped and crying, and he goes home and he sees his mom and dad and he kills them both, and then cries about that. Or whether it was, the ending where the Joker, I'll say it, the Joker dies in a freak skydiving accident. He goes, he's getting ready to jump, and the guy piloting the plane's like, hey, don't. And the Joker goes, I'm the Joker. And he jumps out and gets sucked right into the turbine and just shredded, and then credits roll as Happy Together by the Turtles starts playing. It was a fully entertaining movie. And I think that's all you can ask for with the Joker, because he's an entertaining character. I think it was weird that after the credits, it then just played, was it 1999's The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle movie in full, like, twice. I don't know if that was just a, like, issue with our version of the movie, or whether that was intended, but I found that truly strange. But, you know, what can you do? It's the Joker, he's a wild card, and this was a wild movie.
Yeah, it really, like, it really subverted expectations.
Yeah.
Right? It was vastly different from, what was it? Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
That one, because that one didn't do great, right? It got,
it won an Academy Award, but
oh,
yeah.
Did it? Okay. So, I don't know. They were trying a different formula, right?
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say. They were trying a different formula. They wanted to, they wanted to break the mold of your normal, like, superhero movies.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to set the mold for future, like, super villain stories.
Oh, maybe.
To make it more, like, more relatable, more empathetic. Right?
Yeah.
More empathetic with our kind of vigilante hero.
Yeah. I mean, whenever they announced the movie, I said, like, I'm so happy this movie's being made in 2019, because I already felt like the Joker should be an empathetic villain, and I especially thought that, like, an enraged incel who results, who turns to violence and murder, that needs to be an empathetic main character in our society right now. So I'm really glad they came out with this movie. It does subvert expectations. I'll say a big subversion for me was I was expecting to get shot while watching the movie, and I didn't. This podcast might age very poorly later on. But I thought, I didn't get shot. So that was a subversion to me. I think another big subversion the movie had was no picture. It was just an audio-only movie. I thought that was very interesting. A great subversion on what movies can be. Maybe this is the future of movies. And if so, hey, you're watching a movie right now.
Yeah, they like what am I thinking? Like the porn videos where they narrate what's going on.
Yeah.
Is kind of what they did. They overlapped it with the dialogue.
Yeah.
So some of the more important, like, dialogue scenes were kind of I feel like they might have been, like, washed over a little bit.
It was a little bit messy, but first tries always are. I'm sure they'll nail it down by the sequels. Yeah, there was also, I don't know if you found this weird. I think a big subversion was we got to the movie theater, and I was really impressed by how much of an immersive experience they made going to see the Joker. Because we got to the movie theater, we took an Uber, got there, we went up to the booth, and there was already guys with ski masks on at the ticket booth. And, that's kind of cool because that's the Joker wears a mask. And we went, 2 tickets for Joker, please. And the guy didn't speak a lick of English. He had a very, like, deep Russian accent. And he just stared at us. And we were like, Joker, ha! And we gave him our money. And he took us to, like, a back room. And then it was just Clayton and I and, like, maybe, like, 6 other guys. And we just, like, sat there. And then, like, the movie kind of played. And then, I think I got hit in the back of the head with the butt of a gun. I'm pretty sure some of those guys did not make it out of that theater. But it was a whole like subversive experience. I really felt like I was in the world of the Joker.
Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool. That was like like a 4D experience.
Yeah.
Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
How they they really brought you into it. They used all the senses, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's where we are heading.
I hope so.
As technology improves.
Yeah. Black Widow's coming out. I'm sure they'll kind of do the same kind of thing for Black Widow, because Black Widow's a Russian character, so maybe they'll have those Russian guys back again. I can only hope. I've seen them on the news getting a lot of accolades recently, so that's exciting. It's a very interesting way to go. Hopefully, more movies do it. Jurassic World's coming out. There are 3, Jurassic World 3 or 2. I don't know what we're on. That's coming out soon, so they could have like a dinosaur in the theater, like eat us. That'd be exciting.
I think that'd be really cool.
What else? The Irishman's coming out, so we could like get handed like a hoagie and some whiskey or something. That one maybe wouldn't be as exciting, but it'd make a good meal.
I would love if we had because here in the Northeast, I know like down south, I think they have movie theaters where you eat a meal. We don't have that here.
No.
We get popcorn and that's it.
Yeah. Though it was interesting whenever we went to see Joker, we asked for popcorn and they just hit us. And it was like, oh, okay, this is like a Joker popcorn. So if you guys go to see Joker after hearing our glowing review, make sure to ask for the Joker popcorn and see if they give it to you. All in all, we should probably start wrapping this up, start putting a bow on it maybe. All in all, Joker is a very exciting 4D experience with a lot of laughs, a lot of things going on that makes it entertaining, exciting, and a new experience. Yeah.
I'll say one more thing. Let's before we wrap this up, I want to get into my favorite scene.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Which was right at the end, fittingly, when Joker got sucked into the to the jet engine or whatever.
Yeah.
They little reference. They started Roundabout. They slapped up the to be continued, and I thought that was really fitting.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because I recently started watching JoJo, so I thought that was targeted right at me.
Yeah.
I could feel the crosshairs. So that's a memorable scene.
Yeah, I think it's interesting also. I mean, the whole movie was kind of a JoJo reference because you have a clown, much like JoJo's Circus on the Disney Channel. Playhouse Disney, sorry. So the whole movie was like a big JoJo reference, and that was exciting. As someone who grew up with that crazy little clown, that was kind of big fun for us. I'll say my favorite scene... what was my favorite scene? I really like the scene where Joker goes to Vietnam. And they're coming in on the helicopters, and the helicopters are like playing Fortunate Son, and then they like drop down, and the Joker's like, I love the smell of Joker in the morning. I thought that was kind of cool. That was a cool reference to Full Metal Jacket. So that's pretty cool. But I think where that sequence went was my favorite part. And that, like, they give Joker a gun, and they're like, now, son, only shoot the Viet Cong. And then Joker, like, turns and shoots the army. And it was like, whoa, you shouldn't do that. That's like a bad guy thing. And I that's the kind of the message I got from the movie. Is like the Joker is a bad guy. maybe even a villain. I'd go so far, maybe call him a villain. So that was an exciting part of the movie, I thought. So, overall, guys, go ahead, go out to your local theater, see if they're doing the Russian guy promotion, ask them for a Joker popcorn, and just kind of, enjoy yourself. It's a fun movie to bring a date to, fun movie to bring your mom to. I'd say bring your baby and your mom and your girlfriend. It's a great movie for the whole family. Not since Charlotte's Web has there been this good of a family film, and I'd say this even top Charlotte's Web. So get out there and go check it out. This has been a Fudge Films movie review. If you'd like to hear more of them, let us know on Twitter, or you can send us a letter to our mailbox. You'll have to find it first. Yeah. Overall, I give the Joker movie 5 bags of popcorn and a heroin needle for good old Heath Ledger. Clayton, you want to... I know you already rated it, but go ahead and say your rating again.
Yeah, after discussing the finer points, I'll bump it up. It's like a 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. I thought they did some things right, and they took some steps backwards. They're really just... they are trying to rewrite the book, and in doing so, you gotta erase some of the book, right?
Yeah.
So, I think there's a formula that they're working at that could be... It has potential. It could be refined. So I'll give it like 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10.
Okay. That's a pretty piss poor review. But I'm sure Martin Scorsese will be happy to hear someone like the movie. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time. Let us know if you want us to do any more movie reviews. I've seen a movie or 2 in my life, maybe 3. So we could kind of have fun conversations. What are our thoughts on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Not good. That's what I'll say. All right, good night.
Well, that's all for now. Remember to subscribe and follow us on Twitter. And remember, peace and love.